Okay, guys, now we're going to work with word problems. A lot of people don't like word problems because they think they're really hard, but they're really actually pretty easy if you break them down and if you know how to look for keywords. Let's start with this word problem. Even though they did it for you, most of the work for you already, I'm going to do it again, okay? Listen up and listen to how I look for keywords. I'm looking at the first part of the word problem, which is the first sentence, and I see a keyword here, and that's sum. So that automatically tells me I'm going to be adding numbers. Here they tell me that I'm going to be adding two numbers, the sum of two numbers. And this word here is usually means equals. So I know that whatever I'm going to add equals 59. And sum, so I know I'm going to be adding, so I'm going to just write my addition. And it's two numbers. I don't know what the two numbers are, so I'm going to use variables. I'm going to use letters because I don't know what they are. And I'm going to use two different letters to show that I'm going to add two numbers. Okay, so I've already done the first sentence. Now I'm going to look at the second sentence. In the second sentence, they tell me that their difference is 13. Difference means subtract, take away. Okay, so x minus y, subtracting the two numbers is, remember I told you is means equals 13. Okay. Now I'm going to use the addition method because I have the same variable and the same sign and the different signs. So that means I'm just going to cancel these. And I'm going to add these. So I'm going to add x plus x is 2x. And I'm going to add 59 and 13, which gives me 72. Okay. To solve for x, I've got to divide both sides by 2. And then x equals whatever 72 divided by 2 equals. I believe that is 37. No, 36. X equals 36, okay? Now that I know what x equals, I can grab that and plug it into either of my two equations and solve for y. So since x equals 36, I'm going to plug it into this equation down here. Minus y equals 13. So I'm going to subtract 36 from both sides. So I can isolate my variable, which is y. And I get minus y equals 23. Negative 23. And since I have a negative on both sides, they both turn positive. So y equals positive 23 and x equals 36. The two numbers are 36 and 23. Okay, let's do it again. Here they're saying find two numbers. So I know there's going to be two numbers, so that's probably going to be x and y. And here they say sum. Sum means addition. So I'm going to put an addition sign. And is, I already told you, is means equals. So x plus y equals 15. So we've got our first problem down. And then in the second part of the equation, or the second part of the word problem, they tell us, let's see, where's the end of this? Okay, here we go. The second part, they tell us twice the first number, right? So the first number is x, right? So twice the first number, that means 2 times the first number. So I'm going to write 2x, 2 times the first number. Okay, I got that part. Decreased. Decrease means subtraction, right? Subtract. Because you're decreasing, you're going down, and when you subtract, you go down, you get less numbers. So subtracted, decreased by the second number. So the second number is y. Gives us 6, that's what it tells us, or equals 6. Okay, so I've got my two equations now, and here again I'm going to use addition because the y and the y's are the same, so I'm just going to cancel those out. And I could do that because the signs are different. Plus y minus y is 0. I'm going to combine the 2x and the x, that gives me 3x. And I'm combining the 15 and the 6, and that gives me 21. Okay? Now to solve for x, I divide by the coefficient of x, which is 3. Divide by 3. And 21 divided by 3 equals 7. Yeah, because 3 times 7 equals 21, so I know that my answer is 7. So x equals 7. And then I grab 7 and plug it into either of the two equations. It doesn't matter which one you plug it into. I'm going to plug it into the top one because that one looks easier to solve. So 7 plus y equals 15. I'm going to subtract 7 from both sides because I want to isolate the variable. So I'm going to get y equals 8. Because 15 minus 7 is 8. So I get y equals 8 and x equals 7. Okay, here I'm looking at this equation, and I'm always going to look at the equation in parts, right? So I'm going to read the first part of the equation up until the period. So I see find two numbers whose difference is 3, right? So two numbers, I don't know the two numbers, so it's going to be x and y. And this is the key word here, difference, because difference means subtract. So I'm going to subtract x and y, and then I already told you that is means equals, so I'm going to put equals 3. So x minus y equals 3. Now let's look at the other part of our equation, which says when the larger number is decreased by 3 times the smaller number. So x is a larger number, and it's going to be decreased, or again we know subtract. Subtract. Okay. By 3 times the smaller number, and y is a smaller number, so 3 times the smaller number. The result is, which means equals again, the result is negative 11. So now I've got my two equations, and since I've got the same variable, I'm just going to make this, I'm going to subtract the bottom equation by a negative. That gives me a negative x, a positive 3y, and a positive 11. These x's cancel out, and I combine the y's. 3y minus y is 2y, and I combined the answers, 11 and 3 equals 14, and I know that I'm going to divide by the coefficient of y. That's going to give me 1y, and 1 times y is y. Divide this side by 2, because what I do to one side I have to do to the other, so I get y equals 2. Okay? So now that I know what y equals, I could plug y into either this equation or this equation and get my answer. I'm going to do it to the top one because the top one looks easier to work with. So x minus 2 equals 3. I want to isolate x, so I'm going to add 2 to both sides to get rid of the 2 and get x by itself. So x equals 3 plus 2, 5. X equals 5.